Hi guys, welcome back to Elephants in the Kitchen. My name is Nicole and I am your amateur chef, cooking, baker girl who loves to cook and also loves to talk about the elephants in the kitchen, aka the subjects that no one talks about. If you guys know me or you follow me, you've probably seen my podcast. It's called Elephants in the Room. I talk a lot more about a little bit more serious stuff on there and get really vulnerable. And this is kind of a space where I like to have fun and just vent and just hang out with you guys and talk about all the elephants in the kitchen and all the things in my life. Now, this is something that I haven't made yet, but I really wanted to make. So today we are going to be making homemade pasta. So I have a recipe pulled up right next to me. I am going to link the recipe for the pasta, obviously, because it's not my recipe. But we're just going to go for it. So usually, again, I'd kind of be showing you guys how to do things, but you're just going to be walking through it with me, and we're just going to do it together. It is currently 10 p.m., and my boyfriend is at a music session, so he's going to be home in about an hour and a half. So I figured I would start on the pasta now, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. So let's do it. First step and most important step is to wash your hands. I'm going to wash my hands and let's get into it. This is like my safe zone because cooking is just really like healing and therapeutic for me. So we're just going to have fun and I'm just going to cook with you guys. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so for homemade pasta, here's the ingredients you guys are going to need. You're going to need all-purpose flour. Now you can use bread flour, obviously, like I'm using, but all-purpose is generally what most recipes say to use, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And then you're going to need some olive oil. Avocado oil, I'm sure, works as well. You're going to need some eggs, and then you're going to need some salt. So it's pretty simple, not a lot of ingredients, and I've like had fresh pasta like when me and my boyfriend have traveled places or just at certain restaurants. And I'm a little nervous to mess it up, but I also have this cute KitchenAid attachment. And for anyone who doesn't know, I've dreamed of having a KitchenAid like my whole life because I obviously loved cooking, but I never had enough money to buy a KitchenAid. So now that I have one, it is like my dream come true. So let's start with the flour. Now this is a little interesting, but they say actually to first clean your surface. So before I started filming, obviously I cleaned my surface. So now you're gonna use this surface to like mix the pasta together. So you actually don't need a bowl. And I have my handy dandy fork. And then I also have this handy dandy little tool that's gonna kind of help me as I'm doing it. But we're gonna start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now they do say to measure this with no, just kidding. To measure it and level it so it can be like as accurate as possible. If you guys know anything about me and my cooking style, a big part of the reason I like cooking more than I like baking is because I don't like following recipes. I like just following my heart. So we're gonna see how this goes, but I'm sure it's not, you know, that big of a deal. So we're gonna measure this 2 cups of flour. And look, I already made a mess, but it's okay because I'm gonna make a mess anyways when I'm doing the pasta. So it's like, it's honestly fine. So yeah, I'm just gonna measure this real quick. And what are we going to talk about today, guys? Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. If you follow me on TikTok, I've been recently going through like a whole ex-Mormon phase on TikTok, talking about how I converted from Mormonism to Christianity. Super interesting, but it's definitely been really challenging and really eye-opening, but I also feel like I've had so many really supportive people, so I'm so thankful for that. But before I made this, I made a dirty soda video and talked about divorce, which I'm divorced if you guys didn't know that. Elephants in the kitchen. Okay, 2 cups. All right, so we're gonna start with 1 cup. I know this looks scary, trust me. Like when I was reading through the recipe, I was like, this looks a little interesting, but again, I'm gonna trust the process, I'm gonna trust the recipe and hope that it turns out good. Oh gosh. Speaking of, guys, I've kind of been having a hard time deciding like what I wanna like do with my life, I guess. Like this is something that I've always loved doing, and I actually would love going to culinary school, but I don't know, do you guys ever feel like when you hit 25, I just feel like your life, you go through like such a weird shift and like everything just changes. Like I just feel like I'm so different than how I used to be. And just the way I see things and the way I operate, everything's just different, man. So I just feel like I'm kind of going through like a little bit of a midlife crisis, but also like I'm totally fine at the same time. All right, there's that flour. Okay, so now guys, they say to make like a little well. So we're gonna make a little well. This is actually so fun. This is really exciting. Because again, I've never done this before, so this is a first for me making pasta. We're just gonna go for it, but pasta is one of my absolute favorite things. I freaking love pasta, so I feel like that's why this is really exciting for me. Okay, now we're gonna do 3 large eggs and we're just gonna crack them inside this little well. So that's the goal here. And again, I'm doing this with you guys because again, I've never done this before. All right, we're gonna crack these eggs. Frick, I need like a trash bag. I'll be right back. All right, now we're gonna take these eggs. Hopefully there's no shells. Did I get a shell? No, I didn't get a shell. I just got a weird inside of the egg, but that's okay. So we're gonna do 3 large eggs. I low-key wish I could listen to music while I was doing this, but obviously I can't because I'm talking to you guys, duh. But I wish you guys could talk back to me. That would be fun. Okay. There we go. Now I am a little nervous because let's see, I'm pretty sure these are large. Yeah, these are large, never mind. I'm stressing for no reason. Okay, wash my hands again because I just touched eggs. Okay, now we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of sea salt. And again, this all just goes in here and then you just like mix it up. Half a teaspoon of sea salt. I could add extra salt to pretty much anything because I am a salt addict. That is one thing about me. I just like, there's nothing I hate more than like unsalted food. Like that, if I have a pet peeve, it's unsalted food. Okay, half a teaspoon. Okay, you're gonna put that in there. And then the last ingredient for the pasta is gonna be a half a tablespoon of olive oil. So we're just gonna throw that right in there. And I'm actually really excited for the kneading part. I feel like that's gonna be really fun. All right, so now, what it says is to kind of mix up the eggs with a fork in the middle, kind of get a little bit of a mixture of the eggs. And then we're gonna slowly start to incorporate that flour. And then once it's all incorporated, we're gonna knead it. So just kind of getting it mixed. I always get nervous that things are gonna like not be mixed enough. Okay, so now you supposedly are just supposed to kind of slowly start incorporating it. So again, we're just kind of going for it. I'm gonna switch actually to this little guy. And I've watched like a couple of videos on this. So this is when I feel like every time I see a recipe, I just like start to follow my heart and I just start to like go for it the way I feel like it's supposed to go. Which is a good and a bad thing, I guess. Anyways, so something I wanted to talk about on this episode, I actually thought about doing this as a podcast episode, but I feel like it makes a little bit more sense on this, is I've seen this on a couple of podcasts. I saw this on Emma Chamberlain's podcast. Shout out to her. Love her. She's one of my biggest inspirations. And then I've also seen it on a couple other pods. Now, again, I'm pretty late to this, so I'm kind of jumping on board a little late to this trend, but I thought this trend was really cool, and it just really made me like think about my life and think about some of the things that I have learned in my early adult years and also just in my life. So today I want to talk about my 2024 ins and outs. Now, if you don't know what that means, that pretty much just means like things that you feel like you've identified in your life that you want to be out the door or at least limited, and then things that you want to be in the door, not limited, and do more of in your life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, and I have a lot of them. Okay, but also pause for this pasta. Okay, so it did say in the recipe, it may look a little dry, but you have to trust the process, keep going for it, and then once you start kneading it, it should get a little more incorporated. So I'm just gonna kind of keep putting this all together before I do anything else. It's looking good though. The dough is actually so fun to touch, guys. This is so freaking awesome. Also, literally one of my nails, I like ripped off the gel from it because it was driving me absolutely up a wall. So, okay, I actually feel like we're getting to a pretty good point here with how the pasta looks, which is exciting. So I think I'm about ready to kind of start like mixing it / kneading it. Again, they said to trust the process because it's gonna look a little dry, but once you start really kneading it and mixing it, it will start looking better. And it said to knead and mix it for 8 minutes. So we're just gonna go for it and try to start incorporating this. Oh my gosh, this is crazy, guys. I'm stressed. This is like making such a mess, but that's okay. I probably should have taken off my rings before I did this, but I did wash my hands, but I might honestly pause and take my rings off because this is getting a little bit messy. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna re-wash my hands because I am paranoid. And I'm also serving this to obviously my sweet, lovely boy. And I want to always have clean hands for him. Okay guys, back to kneading. All right, I feel like I need to start with my 2024 outs and then I'll say like the in versus the out for whatever it is that I'm talking about. Okay, so something that I feel like is out for me, I know this sounds so dumb, but is acrylic nails. I feel like I went through a stage where I was like all the time wanting to get acrylic nails just because I felt like I had to, because I felt like that's what everyone did. And I just felt like that's what like makes your nails look pretty. And I feel like recently I'm just like so over acrylic nails, even like Gel X, because after like a week, they start to like kind of come off, and they also start to like, if you're a girl, you know this, anytime you like put your finger, like you hit it, it stabs and it starts to rip your nail bed up because the Gel X or the acrylic starts to come up. And there's literally no worse feeling than that in the actual world. And I also just feel like to do life things like work out or cook or anything, I just feel like acrylic nails are just so unpractical. So recently, when I go to the nail salon, I've just been getting gel nails and I like it way better than I like acrylic. This hoodie's making me mad. So that's something that I feel like is an out and an in of 2024. The next thing that I feel like is an out for me, something that I feel like I felt a little bit convicted of, and also just like, I don't know, a way that I don't want to be, is I feel like gossip is so easy to do. And it's hard because sometimes it really is just talking about your life in a safe, trusted place with people that you love. Like obviously I tell my boyfriend everything and I tell Jesus everything, but I feel like sometimes there's just not a reason for you to be like talking about other people, especially poorly. And it's so easy to do. Gossip is so easy to do. And also it's so easy to look into other people's lives and see things that you have learned. And so you're looking into their life and you're like, oh, they're making the mistake I made. Like I want to tell them, I want to fix it. And it's so easy to kind of critique the way that someone is living based on like your opinion of them. And I just like don't want to be that person. Like I want to be for people and I want to cheer people on, not only like publicly, but also silently and privately when I'm behind closed doors. And so I felt like I've just been convicted to just be more for people and yes, share the truth. And yes, like in you know, certain scenarios or safe places, like I don't think there's anything wrong sharing things about your life or about things surrounding you, but I do think there's a time and a place, and I do think that we just need to be more for people. Like you don't know their journey, you don't know what's in their heart, you don't know what's in their head. God does, you don't. And so just like being more for people generally, I feel like it's something I just would like to be better at. Another thing I feel like I want to be better at is quality over quantity in friendships and everything in my life. There's just like so much in this life that we can like absorb and so much that we can have around us. Like there's just so much consumption in our lives. You know, you get on social media and there's like a million things going on all the time. And like now we live in a generation where like people can DM you, people can text you, people can call you. And like back in the day, it just like wasn't like that. That's just like not how it was. And so I feel like now it's just like it's just too much. And I feel like that's part of the reason we all have so much anxiety. And I think that's part of the reason I also struggle like not getting things done, is because it's just too much and I like want to do a billion different things. But it's like, no, I just want to be good at the things I love doing, and I don't want to worry about the rest. And I want to like take care and maintain the friendships that I know are for life, not the friendships that are convenient, not the friendships that are circumstantial, not the friendships that are fleeting that I know aren't going anywhere, but I'm just like having these friendships or relationships just to have them. Like, I just don't want to do that anymore. So that's my hot take for that. Now, again, I'm getting a little nervous about this dough because it's having a little bit of an issue coming together, but it did say to knead it for 8 to 10 minutes. So I feel like I just have to keep trying to incorporate it and have it come together, because it very well still could come together, and I just need to trust the process here. The next thing that I feel like is kind of out for me is trying to enhance my unnatural features, or not embracing my natural features. I feel like for so long I was wearing silver jewelry. I was trying to dye my hair cool tone, trying to like have this specific look that I saw in other people. And I've had to accept this year that like I just naturally look better in gold, and I also naturally am just a warm tone person. My face, my hair, like that's just how it is. And so I just want to embrace that. And so you guys know, a couple months ago, I like dyed my hair brown, like the blonde brown. Now it looks a little blonde, my highlights, but I promise they're brown. And I'm actually going to get my hair done this week. I'm excited about. So I am just wanting to enhance. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing things to make ourselves feel more beautiful. You know, obviously, as long as we know where our identity comes from and where our true beauty comes from, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I do think that it is really important to not try to change the way you look as a whole. I think trying to, you know, there's nothing wrong with making tweaks and doing certain things, but I think inevitably, like, I just want to accept my natural self better and just enhance the things that I like about myself. Not to say that I'm against plastic surgery or any of those things, or makeup or whatever. Like, I'm not against any of that, but just trying to enhance more of my natural features and not trying to change so much of everything about me. I'm going to add a tiny bit of oil. I'm going to just go on the whim here, because I feel like this just needs a little something to keep it together a little better. Because this is just still taking some time to really get to the place that I want. But it's coming together. Gotta knead the dough, man. And once you knead it, we're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. So we're just getting to that point. I'm gonna take sections. And I also actually think what I might do, again, going off the whim here, is I have a little kneading attachment in my KitchenAid. So I think I'm gonna pull that out so we can get this kneaded up a little quicker. Okay, people, we're gonna give this a shot just because my kneading is kind of giving me some issues. So I'm gonna throw all this good pasta stuff in this bowl. Now this is a kneading attachment, so we're gonna give this a shot and see how she does. This is life, guys. Making adjustments, right? That's life. Something doesn't work, you make an adjustment. And sometimes it's okay to take shortcuts. It's literally okay. Sometimes it feels like it's not, but it actually is. Okay, we're gonna click it on stir. And we're gonna let this just really come together for a second. I'm gonna pray that it does. I'm like nervous, guys. If this pasta turns out bad, I'm sorry guys that I let you down, but I think it's gonna turn out good. I think it just needs a minute. We're gonna turn it up a little bit. I just want it to come together a little better. I'm gonna add a little more oil. Hopefully that brings it together a little better. It also said if it's not coming together perfectly to add a little bit of water. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to it. I'm gonna see how we're looking here. Yeah, this is coming together. She's coming together slowly and surely. We're gonna need her a little bit longer. Oh! We're making a mess in here. That's the kitchen though for you. Okay, I feel like it's a little more incorporated now, so I'm gonna take it out of the bowl and I'm gonna keep kneading it because I feel like it's a better to hand knead than it is to knead it in there. Now it's looking a little better because we got a little bit of water in there. So I feel like it's coming together slowly. We're just kneading, knead the dough, knead the dough, knead the dough. See, but this is what I love about cooking is like, you have to be so present when you're cooking. Like, you could be thinking about a million things, but it forces you to get out of your head and just like get your hands in it. And so I think that's part of the reason that it brought me so much peace as a kid to cook is because there was so much chaos going around me, and cooking is just like, it brings the peace, you know what I mean? So, and then when it also turns out good and it comes together, it's like so satisfying because it's like, I worked for this. I put in the work, I did this. Coco, my little puppy looks so cute over there. Okay, we're kneading the dough, guys, we're kneading the dough. It's coming together. Look how she looks. It's coming together, guys. See, I just knew I needed to trust the process and make some shortcuts. And that's life sometimes, is making some shortcuts and trusting the process. Okay, we're gonna knead it for a couple more minutes. And I'm out of breath. I'm like trying to talk to you guys, but I'm like, I'm out of breath. Ah. And then once this is kneaded, we're going to, what's it called? We are going to wrap it in plastic wrap, and then we're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes, and then I will join you guys back here. Okay, I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we literally just need like 2 more minutes of kneading. So I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, let's talk about my next 2024 out/in. My next one is not setting boundaries. Now, I think you can definitely go overboard with boundaries in your life, like, and it can make you feel isolated when you cut everything out. But I do think that boundaries, I love the verse in the Bible. It says, my boundary lines fall in pleasant places. And so I think there is a space and a way to have boundaries that isn't harsh to the other person, but it's also just protecting both of you guys from any toxicity or issues that could arise. Like, boundaries are just so important. And I think the people pleaser in me, even though I've learned about boundaries and I know boundaries, sometimes I struggle setting them, but we're gonna be better about that this year. Okay, guys, this is coming together. Okay, this is my next, actually my really big 2024 out/in. This one is actually so important because I feel like I've just learned so much about it the last like couple months because I've been going through a lot, and I honestly haven't talked a lot about it because I feel like it's kind of hard to when you're going through it. But if I've learned anything, it's that the little things matter. Like the little things that you do in your day-to-day life matter. Your morning routine matters. Spending time with God matters. Like all those little things that we think don't matter, I feel like they actually make up so much of our peace, so much of our joy, so much of our grounding. And like routine actually creates so much peace in our bodies. It helps us get out of fight or flight mode and helps us to be so present because our bodies have predictability. So I feel like I have been all about morning routines and little healthy habits and all the things that I can do. Obviously keeping it simple and not doing like too much of it because you can definitely overdo it. But I feel like structure and routine is actually cool, guys. I'm 25 and I used to be like, no, freedom. And it's like, no, actually structure and routine is actually really cool and it actually makes your life so much better. So if I've learned anything, all right, guys, I think this has really come together. I think we're where we need to be, honestly. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix this, or I'm gonna put this in a little ball. We're gonna shape this in a little ball. And then I'm gonna put this in some plastic wrap and we're gonna let it sit for 30 minutes. All right, she's covered. I'm gonna clean my station up and I'll see you guys in a little. All right, guys, we are back. I've let the pasta sit for 30 minutes at room temperature in this little plastic wrap, and now is for the moment of truth, guys. I am a little stressed, but I'm also really excited. The next step is going to be to take your pasta out. We're going to put a little bit of flour on the surface. Again, make sure that your surface is clean. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to break this into 4 parts. So we're going to do 4 parts of this little lovely ball. Beautiful. Okay. And then we're going to take 1 part of the ball to start. And again, a little more flour. Not too much, but just a little bit. And we're gonna roll this out into about an oval shape. And then we're gonna run it through our pasta machine, aka the KitchenAid mixer that has a pasta attachment. Now, luckily the KitchenAid is gonna do a lot of the work for me, so I don't need to like stress too much. But if you have a KitchenAid, the settings you're gonna wanna use obviously not the fettuccine one, just the regular pasta runner, because obviously we have to flatten it out before we cut it into the fettuccine noodles. But we're going to turn it into an oval, and then you're also going to be using it on setting 1. So again, guys, this is uncharted territory for me. I've never done this before, so we're just gonna go for it and see what happens. And I feel like that's about exactly where I need it to be. So we're gonna give this a try. So you're gonna turn it on, stir, okay? Make sure this is attached, and we're just gonna run her through. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Okay, that is awesome. Okay. So then, once you've done that, and we're obviously gonna do this with all of our dough, but you're gonna take these 2 flat ends, you're gonna fold them in like that, and then you're gonna fold it 1 more time over like this. And then we're gonna run it through level 2, 3 times, level 3, 3 times, level 4, 3 times, and then level 4, 5, and 6. So we're gonna run it through all the settings 3 times each. So this is gonna be quite the process, people. Okay, guys, we're going for it. I'm just going for it. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I kind of messed up that one, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna run it through one more time, people. Oh, this is awesome. Homemade pasta coming right up. Okay, we're gonna stop it. Now we're gonna put it on level 3. And we're gonna run it through 3 times on level 3. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of exciting because I've literally never made homemade pasta, but I've always wanted to try it, guys. Which, that's another out for me for 2024, is not trying new things. I feel like we get to this age, like once you get to a certain age, you feel like you have to like have your life figured out, and you literally don't. Like, I feel like there's so many parts of my childhood that kind of got robbed and taken from me. And so now, like, as I'm 25, I'm like, I'm just gonna freaking be a kid again, and I'm gonna just try new things, and I don't care what anybody thinks, because it's fun. Guys, it's looking so good. Okay, we're gonna change the level now. So you did it 3 times on level 2, 3 times on level 3, and now we're gonna do it one time on level 4, 5, and 6. So we're gonna switch to level 4, just one time. This is so freaking cool, bro. Okay. Now we're gonna do level 5. On stir, not on anything else. Guys, this is crazy. I really hope this turns out good. I feel like I've got a good chance because it's looking good so far. Okay, and then we're gonna do one last time on level 6. I don't want my pasta to break, so I'm a little nervous about running it through so many times, but this is what the instructions say, so I'm just gonna go for it and pray that it turns out good. Woohoo! She is thin! Okay, I'm stressed. So now, I feel like that's honestly pretty good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, fold it in half, and we're gonna lay it on our baking sheet that is laced with a little bit of flour, and then obviously we're gonna run it through. Yeah, and the reason for putting the flour supposedly is just so it doesn't stick together, which I totally get because that would be terrible. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing with these other 3. I'm going to roll it into an oval. I'm gonna run it through my pasta maker. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Guys, I can't sing. If you're wondering if I can sing, I can't. I actually can't sing. It's funny because I've dated 2 singers, married one of them, now dating a second one, and I just cannot sing to save my life. Never have been, and honestly don't care to try. I sing in the shower, and I also sing in my car, except for, sorry to trauma dump on you guys, but I don't have a car. When I moved to LA, it's so funny, the night I moved to LA, my car literally broke down. On the side of the road, my engine blew. The car that I'd had for 7 years, her name was Georgie, and I loved her. My engine blew on the side of the road at like 10 p.m. at night, and David had to come and save me and tow my car. So rip Georgie. I'll miss you forever, Georgie. She was literally the car that got me through like some of the worst times of my life. So I love her so much, which that's another thing I want to talk about. Another 2024 in and out for me is being embarrassed. Like, I'm so sick of being embarrassed about stuff. I'm so sick of being embarrassed about what I love to do. I'm so sick of being embarrassed about just anything. Like, I feel like just my whole life I've spent just being embarrassed about something, and then once I stop being embarrassed about one thing, I just get embarrassed about the other thing. Like, I don't know why I feel like this, but I feel like embarrassed about like what I love to do. Like, I will hype anyone up in what they want to do, but like the second I start doing something, I just like second guess myself, and I feel like I'm not important. I feel like what I'm doing isn't important, and then I'm like, no, Nicole, what you're doing is important. Stop that. And I have to like, frick, guys. And I have to like check myself and just remind myself that like what I'm doing with my life is important, and what I love to do matters, and I don't need to be embarrassed about it. Like, I don't know why, like when I was in school, like anytime I had to do like a class presentation, I would get like so embarrassed. And I'm like, why am I getting embarrassed? Like, what's my problem? But also I just have to have grace for myself and understand that it all stems from something, obviously, and, you know, be kind to myself. Guys, I freaking messed it up. It's fine. I'm just gonna leave it as it is because, or no, frick. We're just gonna do that because I low-key messed it up because I was distracted, but it's fine. We're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna run it through this thing like a handful more times. I feel like it's gonna be fine. See, that's my problem, is why I can't be a baker, is because I just simply am like, oh, I'll just do this. It'll still work. And she's a little broken, but we will make it work. You know why? Because sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's life. But this looks pretty generally like the same as that one, so I'm just gonna like go for it. We're gonna put some flour down before we fold it so it doesn't stick together. We're gonna place it on here. Okay, on to my next piece. I'm gonna make another oval. This time, I'm not gonna mess it up. Now what we're gonna do this the right way because I stopped doing it the right way, and now we're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna fold these two sides in, and then we're gonna fold it one more time in a rectangle. And this is how it's supposed to go. And then we're gonna put it on level 2, and we're gonna put it through 3 times, everyone. Yes, 3 times. Yeah. She's coming together, kind of. There was a little bit of breakage on the end there, but I feel like we're fine. I feel like we're still doing good. I'm gonna do it one more time just because I feel like I kind of messed it up. We're gonna go in one more time here. All right, people, I'm having some technical difficulties here, as you can tell, but it's okay. We're gonna reassess. I'm gonna put this in an oval again. Switch it back to setting 1. We're just gonna put her through. Did you tell my pasta maker's struggling because I'm not doing it the right way? It's okay. We're gonna fold this in from before, make a rectangle. Okay, we're back to square one. And now I think we're gonna be just fine. Switch it to level 2. We're gonna put her through. There we go. She's going. You got it, machine. I know you got it. I literally know you got it. And a little bit of breakage, but that's okay. That's okay, we're just gonna improvise here, like I said. That's what we do out here. Yeah, it's looking good. She's looking good, so we're gonna run her through one more time here. We're gonna run her through on 3. See, that's what I like about cooking, is you kind of just roll with the punches. You just like roll with the punches and just go for it and just hope that it works out, you know? Like with baking, it's a little bit more like particular, you know? But with cooking, it's like you can... You can kind of just roll with it, you know? Come on, frickin' frack. All right, I think that's gonna work. So we're gonna roll it through the 3 times, and then the 4 and the 6. The 4, the 5, and the 6 1 time. Are you guys having fun? I hope you're having fun. Please. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like you guys are having fun. I feel like this is fun. Okay, now we're gonna put her on 4 1 time. Do, 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 do. And the noodles may not be perfect, but nothing is perfect in this life. And this is great because the next time I make noodles, I'll know how to do them even better than I did this time. And that is what I call improvement, and that is what I call life, is you just have to do things and you just have to try them, and you never know how it's gonna go, and you don't need to be embarrassed. Just do it, and if you fail or if you could have done better, then you learned. And I know that's like so cliche to say, but it truly is the truth. I cannot stress it enough. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, sorry guys, I'm getting really excited. We're gonna run it through one more time. One more time. This is the last run through of this noodle, and then we have the last one, and then we're gonna cut it into fettuccine noodles, people, which is gonna be exciting. Okay, now, again, you're flouring this part of the dough so it doesn't stick together, because we just don't want that. And now we're gonna do the last ball. Okay, so we're doing this in a little oval. Okay, and we're gonna run it through on one time. Now we're rocking and rolling, people. Now I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, so I'm like, I feel a little more confident doing what I'm doing, because I just needed like a second to process what was happening. Okay, now we're gonna fold the sides over, jing, jing, and then rectangle. Bam. See, it's like when I'm in the kitchen, I just forget about all my problems. I'm like, life is great. No, life is great, praise the Lord. But like, it's just like gets you out of your head, and there's just so much joy that comes when that happens. Like it's peaceful. It's really peaceful. I don't know how else to say it. It's very peaceful. So we're running it through the 2 and the 3. The 2 and the 3 settings 3 times. And then we run it through the 4, the 5, and the 6, and then we're gonna make fettuccine noodles, and then we're gonna bake them. Not bake them. I just lost my count. I think this is the 3rd time. Again, I'm not that stressed because it's just not that deep, guys. It's just pasta. Literally just pasta. Anyways, and then I'm also gonna show you guys, I don't know if I'll actually have time to show you guys because my battery life, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make a really good homemade Alfredo sauce. It's gas, and I make it all the time for David. He loves it, and I feel like Alfredo sauce out of a can, and just a lot of times when it's not freshly made, it's just not good. But this one is like crazy because it is like freshly made. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that once we're done with our pasta. Okay, now we're gonna switch it to 4. Oh, also, I'm gonna start my water boiling. Turn on a big pot of water on high, get that water boiling before. And then the crazy thing about these pasta noodles is they only cook for 2 minutes because they're fresh, which is actually so fire. So I'm pretty excited about that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna do 5. Let's get down to business. What do you guys like to do for fun that gets your mind off of things? Because this is definitely mine. And honestly, cooking kind of got ruined for me Because when I got divorced, I like cooked so much when I was married, and then I kind of got like, I don't know, it kind of just ruined it for me. And it's also way harder to just cook for yourself and not for someone else. But I love it again. I'm back in my love it era of cooking. Da, 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 da. And there she is in all her glory. Beautiful as ever. Okay, we're gonna put some flour on here. Guys, and now is the freaking fun part. We're gonna freaking roll out the noodles, like fettuccine noodles. Okay. We're gonna set that aside. We're gonna put this one on. And if you guys don't have a KitchenAid, I really hope that you can buy one eventually, because I'm telling you, they're like the coolest thing ever. I freaking love my KitchenAid. And it's just like so like you can just use it for so many things, which is why I love it. Is like you can use it, like I make homemade ice cream with it, and it's like so good. You can mix cookies, I mean, ice cream, like they have so many attachments. You can grind meat, make pasta. It's just like, I feel like they just have a lot of cool stuff. Guys, this is the freaking moment of truth right here. Holy crap. I'm a little stressed. Okay, so now we're gonna take the pasta I put on the fettuccine attachment, and we are gonna run her through. Ah! Guys, this is so awesome. Are you literally kidding me right now? Are you guys literally seeing this? Are you guys seeing this right now? Holy crap. We literally have fettuccine noodles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on them because I don't want them to stick together. But we're just gonna keep going out here. This is so freaking cool. Okay, ready? Look how satisfying this is. See, I was intimidated by making homemade pasta, but look at me now, guys. Things changed. What's your guys' favorite kind of pasta? Ooh. Wow, do you guys see this? This is insane. I'm like so stoked right now. Like I'm literally so stoked for this. Okay, this one's gonna be a little risky because she's a little thick or long, wide. She's a little long. Oh, it's getting a little messed up, but that's okay. It's okay. We can't expect them to all be perfect. They're sisters, not twins. I cannot wait for David to see this when he gets home. He's gonna be like, bruh, this is crazy. Now I feel like I'm always gonna make pasta at home, because once I like make something homemade once, I'm like, this was the funnest experience of my life. And it also tastes so much better. So it's like a win-win, you know? Okay. This side is being a little tricky. Let's get down to business. This is so cool, guys. Holy crap. See, this is what happens when you try new things. Wow. Let's freaking go. Okay, I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna put some flour because I'm just a little nervous about them sticking together, because I think they're supposed to like dry them or whatever. Do you guys see these? Homemade fettuccine noodles. I've never made pasta before and it's been intimidating, but we did it today. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay. Okay guys, our water is getting there as far as getting boiled. So while the water is getting ready, I'm gonna show you guys how to make this Alfredo sauce. Super easy. Except for I low-key do wish that David was closer, because it is really good when it's like fresh, but we just need to get the ball rolling here. Homemade pasta! Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. You can make any sauce for your homemade pasta. Honestly, if you just did like butter and Parmesan, it would probably be really good. But I'm gonna show you guys how to make homemade Alfredo. I will pin the recipe. Obviously, My stove is over there, but I'm just gonna put all my ingredients in here and kind of walk you guys through it really fast, and then I'll show you guys in a clip. So you're gonna start with half of a cup of butter, so 2 sticks, and then you're gonna do a cup and a half of heavy cream. You're gonna pour this in, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on the stove, and we're gonna let it simmer for about 2 minutes before we add our other ingredients. We're gonna put this pot on to get this water boiling and rolling. You're gonna bring your butter and heavy cream to a simmer. We're gonna turn it to that medium-ish high heat. The other ingredients you're gonna need are 2 cups of Parmesan, you're gonna need 2 teaspoons of garlic, some basil for the top to add to the fresh, and then you're also gonna need a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then some pepper and salt. Okay, so you're gonna need half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of Italian seasonings, a fourth a teaspoon of pepper, and yeah, that's all. Okay, so you guys can see this is melting. Now, one thing about this Alfredo sauce is it is best served really hot and right when it's done, because if not, it can get a little
Okay, I found this on the web. First, it is best served really hot.
Okay, hi Siri, literally what? Is this almost ready? Oh my gosh, okay, it's ready. Okay, we're gonna throw the pasta in now. This is so exciting. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. I feel like I can just go all in there. Wow. Okay. Okay, I really hope this is good. Okay, now our pasta's going to boil, and now I'm gonna add, now that this has been simmering for roughly 2 minutes, you're gonna add your seasonings and your garlic. And then you're gonna let it simmer for another 2 minutes. Okay guys, now that this is done simmering, you're gonna add your cheese. And this is a really easy Alfredo sauce. I always make this, and I've low-key memorized the recipe, but I'm gonna just link the recipe for you guys so you guys can find it online. But it's so easy and it's so good. And then you really just mix this until the cheese is melted, and you're supposed to serve it immediately, but obviously we're waiting for the pasta. But the pasta is really close to being done, so we're really close here. This is done. It said I'm gonna cook this for 1 to 2 minutes, but we're gonna try it and see how it is, because I don't know if it's cooked. These noodles are freaking hot. But honestly, I think they're low-key pretty much done. I don't want to overcook them. Alright guys, now we're gonna strain our noodles, and we're so close. We're almost done. David's playing a video game, which is classic David. Okay, I'm gonna strain these noodles, and we're gonna dish them up, guys, and I'm gonna tell you how they are. Exciting! Wow. Okay. You guys see that steam? I'm gonna put them back in my pan and just a little bit of olive oil, just so they don't stick. But we're really close here. Alright guys, now we're gonna dish them up. We're gonna set them up. Oh, I'm trying to do this aesthetic, but I feel like this is just not gonna look very aesthetic. Okay guys, adding my final touches, and then we're gonna try these noodles together, and then I'm obviously gonna give them to David. Okay, so I have my noodles, I have my Alfredo sauce. We're gonna put a little bit of basil. And then we're gonna throw on just a couple little tomatoes. Bon appetit. Okay guys, here we have homemade fettuccine noodles with homemade Alfredo sauce. Wow. You really can tell the difference between these and like the dry noodles from the store. They're actually so good. Wow. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. This was so fun. This honestly turned out good. I was a little bit nervous, but it turned out good. Now I'm gonna dish up my real plate, dish up my boyfriend's plate. We're gonna eat. But thank you guys for joining me on this episode. If you guys want to support me, you guys know the drill. You can go listen to my podcast, Elephants in the Room. Follow me on my socials, leave a comment, leave a review, share this episode with a friend, share it on your story. I love you guys so much, and until next time, cheers.